dear students, today we are going to study sources of energy. And in this chapter, you will learn about conventional and non-conventional sources of energy, renewable and non-renewable sources of energy, different resources from which we get these sources, and the impact of the use of energy resources on our environment. In addition to it, we will study how long will these resources last for us. Coming to conventional sources of energy. With the conventional sources of energy are those sources which are in long use. Since we are using them from long period of time, they are known as conventional sources of energy. And generally, as we know, we are using coal, petroleum, natural gas as the source of energy, and these are also known as fossil fuels, as these are obtained from the fossils. Fossils are the remains of the animals or plants, and fossil fuels are those fuels which are obtained from these fossils which got buried under the sea water or under the rocks millions of years ago, and their formation takes millions of years. So these resources take a long time to be formed, but we are using them at the high pace. In addition to this, we are also using hydel energy and thermal energy, which are obtained from the thermal power. Conventional sources of energy are also known as non-renewable sources of energy. Non-renewable means which are not renewed. They cannot be formed so early as they are used. Since they are formed over millions of years, but they are used at high pace. So these resources like fossil fuels are known as non-renewable sources of energy. Next is non-conventional sources of energy. These are such sources of energy which are also known as renewable sources of energy. These are available around us and we can get them at daily basis. For example, solar energy. Daily the sun rises and daily it sets, and we are able to get its energy daily. In addition to it, other sources are also there from which we get energy daily, like wind energy is available to us, energy from water is available to us, known as the hydro energy. So some sources of energy are non-conventional, which are also known as renewable sources of energy, while others are conventional, also known as non-renewable sources of energy. And here we have data of the different kind of the energy used in India. Here, 53% of the energy used is natural gas, which is a kind of the fossil fuel, conventional as well as non-renewable source of energy, while 44% of energy is obtained from oil, which is petroleum, and again a fossil fuel. In addition to it, as it is clear from the figure, only 2% of energy is obtained from the hydroelectric power, which is technically improved form of the conventional source of energy. Here I am using the word technically improved. Reason being, it is obtained from the water, but to get this energy, turbines are run, and for that we need fossil fuel. And 1% of energy is obtained from the coal. So from this figure, it is quite clear that we have different sources of energy, and most of them are conventional sources of energy. And now we are going to study thermoelectric production of energy. Thermoelectric production of energy takes place when heat is provided. With the help of the heat, we are going to produce steam. and this steam is used to run the fans here. These fans are in the form of the metal sheet around the ball, and when heat is produced, these fans start running. As a result, this dynamo works and converts the heat energy into the electric energy. So, in this method, we are just converting the heat energy into the electric energy. And it helps to generate a large voltage while in a temperature gradient. Non-conventional sources of energy which are generally used by us are solar energy, wind energy, hydroelectric energy, tidal energy, ocean energy, and biogas energy. Here we are taking biogas energy as non-conventional source of energy. Reason being, it is improved form of the conventional source of energy. Although in our country, biogas is formed or biomass is used from the long time, but now we are technically changing the form. Now we are, instead of using biomass, we are opting for the biogas. So here we are using it under the non-conventional sources of energy. Various kind of non-conventional sources of energy, as I have told you, are producing energy. Solar energy is produced through solar panel, wind energy through the wind energy form. Hydro energy is produced by water, geothermal energy, as the name indicates. Geo means earth and thermal is the temperature. This is due to the difference in temperature in the earth. This energy is produced and is obtained by us. Biofuel, as I have given you the example of the biogas, that is one of the biofuel and very efficiently used source of energy by people. Solar energy. Solar energy is obtained from sun, and the sun is available to us all around the year, that is 365 days. And from this energy, we can obtain a little bit of electricity by using the solar cell. A single typical solar cell develops a voltage of 0.5 to 1.0 volt, which is very less amount of energy, and produces 0.7 watt of the electricity. And just 0.7 watt of energy is not of any use for us. Therefore, what we do, we are using many solar cells together and forming a solar panel. And through solar panel, we can generate electricity for our use. We can run our fans, we can use it for the electric bulbs. The main thing is that through the solar panel, we are converting solar energy into the electric energy. Biogas. It is a mixture of the different gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and these are obtained from the biomass, that is the waste produced by the plants as well as by animals, which degrade anaerobically. Anaerobically means in the absence of oxygen, and produces a gas which is known as the biogas. And these biogas plants are also producing manure, which is used in the farms and provide us a good crop. And regarding the source of energy, it is obtained from the biogas plant, where we have a mixing tank for mixing the various kind of the waste product. And then we have the digester tank, and which is provided by the inlet tank, and there is a partition wall where these things are mixing together and gas is produced. This gas is then passing to the gas holder, and through the outlet it goes out and can be used for various kind of the purposes, like for cooking food and for the industrial purposes if it is produced as a large scale. And there is an outlet pipe through which this gas is given out from the biogas plant. Hydro energy. Hydro energy is the energy produced from the water, and the water is available around us. Almost 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. So we have a lot of water. And how we produces energy from the water? That is the main point. It is produced by using the potential energy of the water. But potential energy is the energy of standing water, and when the water falls from the height, this potential energy gets converted into the kinetic energy. And then there are turbines which run by using this kinetic energy of the water and produces the electricity. So hydropower plants are the places where the moving water energy is converted into the electricity, and it is a sustainable energy production. Next source is the wind energy. Wind power or wind energy is the use of the wind to provide mechanical power for electricity production or for various kinds of the actions required in day-to-day life, like it is used in the farms also for grinding of the seeds. And when we are talking about the production of the electricity, we have to settle the wind energy farms. A single windmill is not effective in producing the electricity, as it produces a very little amount of the energy. And to settle this kind of the farms, we need minimum 15 km per hour speed of the energy. This is the single requirement for production of the wind energy. Tides, waves, water currents, their energy can also be used to produce the electricity. And this very, very useful in the areas around near the sea. That means in the coastal areas, this is a very good source of energy. Geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the power which is generated by the geothermal energy. For this kind of the energy production, we use different temperatures beneath the surface of Earth. As we know, water is present below the soil. So hot water is used to produce the steam, and this steam is used to run the turbines, and when turbines run, they convert the hot water energy, that is the heat, into the electricity, and then this electricity can be shifted to various areas where these are required. And geothermal electric generation is currently used only in 26 countries all around the world. Why? There are only 70 countries in the world where geothermal heating is in use. And one of the very important source, and we can say which provided the tremendous energy, that source of energy is the nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is discharged by the two processes, which is either fission or fusion. Nuclear fusion means when atoms combine and produces a large atom. And when two atoms combine and produces a large atom, this process is known as nuclear fusion. And while fusion of the nucleus, a large amount of energy is produced, which is much more than the general chemical reactions. Similarly, during nuclear fission, there is division of the atom to form the smaller atoms. And again in this kind of the reaction, tremendous amount of energy is produced. And this energy can be used to produce electricity. And I will here like to add that sun is again the source of this energy, because the energy which is produced in sun is due to the nuclear fusion. So whatever energy we are getting on the earth, that is due to the nuclear fusion. But if we are carrying out these reactions on the earth in the laboratories, then we will have to take a lot of care, because these can be very, very dangerous sources of the energy. But ultimately, it is a very good source of the energy, and as I said, it produces a lot of energy. And now is the time for the impact on the environment. We have started different sources of energy. Some of them are conventional, some are non-conventional. Again saying conventional sources are non-renewable, while others are renewable sources of energy. As you know, renewable sources of energy are not creating a lot of problem for the environment. They are 100% safe, but during their installation, during their manufacturing, their transportation, we use conventional sources of energy, the fossil fuels, which can produce different kind of the pollution in the environment. For example, it may cause air pollution, these may cause water pollution, and the gases which are eradicating from these sources, they cause greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is responsible for increasing the atmospheric temperature. How? What happens when solar energy is reaching the earth? On reaching the earth's surface, it is getting bounced, and these greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane is trapping it and doesn't allow it to go out of the environment. And when these gases, methane and carbon dioxide, are taking it, the atmosphere of the sun is becoming hot and the temperature is rising. As a result, it is turning to those resources which are available around us, like solar energy, wind energy. These are renewable sources of energy, and these will last for the longer time till the sun is present. So we will get these resources for millions of years, and we can continue to use them in future until the sun is present. So I can say that these are constant and reliable sources of the energy for our duty. Now what is our duty? Our main duty here is to save these resources, like our environment, as well as these resources. And for that, we can judiciously use the sources of energy so that we can save air, water, soil, wildlife, as well as the most important point is our health. We have to be healthy, but that is possible only if our environment is safe. So this is the utmost duty of our generation, to save all these resources and to be healthy in the future. Now, these are the links which we can use and get more information about these topics: the conventional sources of energy, non-conventional sources of energy, their impact on the environment also. And now I have assignment for you. Solve these questions and be happy.